Logan Paul started as a Vine and YouTube creator. He's parlayed that influence into an empire, capitalizing on his name in the worlds of boxing, betting, podcasts, and Pokemon. Thanks for joining us today, Logan.
Thank you, Melody. Yeah, I'm excited to be on Yahoo Finance.
Yeah, let's start with Pokemon right off the bat. Celebrating its 20.
You got me. You know how to interview.
Yeah, I mean, I was a Pokemon connoisseur myself. I really was obsessed with, honestly, just for the aesthetic purposes, I'll say, not for the value. But you have been seen as this major catalyst recently, right? For the resurgence in popularity, the pop in value. You even made an NFT, which immediately sold out, of course, during your recent live stream. Did you cause this explosion in Pokemon cards? Give me sort of the macro take here.
Yeah, so I don't think I caused it per se, but I would definitely consider myself an amplifier. Like if anything, I just highlighted how cool Pokemon was, and I think other people either were reminded of it like I was, because I've always been obsessed with it. Like for the aesthetic, similar to yourself. And I played the games as well. I played all the games growing up. I was addicted to it. You couldn't get me off Pokemon. Like they were my little pet friends, and we'd go to battle, and I'd raise them to level 100 and fight my friends. And it was awesome. And so it really did like capture a piece of my childhood. And so when I grew up, and got some money, and I found out that the trading cards are like this cool collectible that is also an appreciating asset. I got interested, and like most of the things that happen in my life when I sink my teeth into them, I got addicted. I got obsessed. Like you could not get me off of eBay. Like scrolling on cards, seeing like what a PSA 9's value is considered compared to a PSA 10. Also, how that value is. Calculated, like what is the difference condition wise, the type of set that the card came from. And it spun me into this weird world where I was able to combine three things that really are like the holy trinity that fulfill me is passion, something I'm passionate about in Pokemon. Like I have one tattoo in my body. It is a Pokemon tattoo, and I got it before I ever started collecting. Like it was the one thing in my life where I was like, that's going to be with me forever.
Yep.
Passion, business, right? There's again, appreciating assets. Like I'm into making money. And three, most importantly for me, content. Like when I can tell a really, really compelling story and get people on board and convince them that something I think is cool, triple win for me. I'm in. Pokemon has my heart. I'm sitting on my podcast set, literally have like Pokemon memorabilia everywhere.
Well, I mean, you've addressed this during one of your YouTube videos, right? About how all these people who were already obsessed, they expressed a lot of disappointment, right? That prices were actually getting beyond their reach because of the popularity. I'm curious how you've dealt with that, trying to make things accessible, but also recognizing that as you popularize things because of your platform, it makes things less accessible in some ways.
Sure. So it does suck. It does. And I did feel guilty, and I put this on Twitter. I don't want sellers to take advantage of a market that could be inflated because I posted a video about something. Although it is sometimes the way markets work, right? Like the more popular something gets, the lower the supply and the higher the demand. It's just how it is. So like I did feel guilty, and because I really do care, but like I guess such is life. I don't know. I hope the sellers stay honest and the buyers aren't getting fooled when they buy their first Pokemon purchase. That's all I was trying to say.
One of the arenas where you don't sit back and you actually have to fight is boxing. And of course, each of your fights have had over 1 million buys and sold out Staples Center and Manchester. I think there's an earned media value of an estimated $100 million. Give us a sense of your career ambitions as a boxer here. Is this a legit thing that is sustainable, or is this something that you're really focused on in 2021?
Is getting hit in the head repeatedly and possibly suffering brain damage sustainable? I mean, I don't know. I guess I can't get hit, but it's boxing, so it happens, and I want to make sure to be smart about it. I've had to have the conversations with my friends where I say, yo, if you see me getting what they call punch drunk, or, I'm talking with a lisp, I'm not being cohesive with my thoughts, and I've lost it. Like, y'all got to tell me, because I need. Granted, my fighting style is elusive, and I am a boxer and not a brawler. Like, everyone fights differently, but I'm not in there fighting. I'm boxing. And so I am being cautious with what I do in this sport. I got in a little trouble this year because I really fell in love with it, because I got good at it. The first 2 years were good, not great. And then, anyone does anything for 3 years, eventually you're going to get good at it. And so now when I go in the ring with people, I'm winning, like, constantly, and winning's fun. And so I really love the sport. Like, and moreover, the thing I love about it most is actually fighting. I like hitting. I like getting hit. I like playing chess with my fists. Like, and so I gotta be careful, because it is so exciting and people really do care. And I do have this capacity to put on these shows at the highest level, like fighting Floyd Mayweather next is an honor, and I will not take it for granted. And just want to be able to continue doing what I love in all forms of entertainment without getting too damaged up here. That's all.
Yeah. So I guess the question is, in 10 years, will we still see you in the ring? Will we still be watching you fight?
It's hard to say. When you fall in love with something, and we saw this with Mike Tyson, when you fall in love with something, although it can have its both physical and mental repercussions, someone comes and puts millions of dollars in front of you, it's hard to say no. I love doing this thing. My doctor begged me not to do it, and I'm like, yo, I don't know what to tell you. I'm here for a good time, not a long time, and I'm gonna make the most out of this life that I've been given.
You recently partnered with Dave Portnoy, of course, of Barstool Sports,
Yeah.
Serving as an ambassador for Penn National Gaming. You talk about how you really respect him as this multi-pronged leader. What was that initial connection? What were those conversations like? Why betting? Is this something that you really wanted to get into early on, or was it something about Portnoy?
Yeah, so I think it's a little bit of both. I think betting is fun, and I believe in Barstool and always have. I think they're such a cool, like, nuanced organization, and they just get it. They're one of those companies that is always at the front lines, slaying. And Portnoy came on our podcast, and I didn't know this, but he was on our podcast, but he was also vetting me. He wanted to see if I could move the needle. And I think after he saw the response to the podcast, he was like, okay, this kid's a real player. And I'm sure he was advised that, I was a force in the space. And he, if I do say so myself, he partnered with me at the right time.
What's interesting about your arc, right, is you aren't a stranger to controversy. And I think that is something that you share in common, right, with someone like Dave Portnoy.
Yeah.
I found it really interesting last year during the Black Lives Matter movement, you did tweet, and I think it's still a pinned tweet on your page, that it's not enough to be not racist. You have to be anti-racist. You have to hold your friends, family, yourself accountable, and use your privilege. Yep. How do you feel like you're using your privilege right now, especially as we see constant acts of violence towards people of color, toward elderly communities? What are you doing on your platform to kind of shift the narrative or perhaps amplify a different message?
So I know when to speak up about something when I feel it, when I really feel it, which is why I made that post about the Black Lives Matter movement, because the whole idea of racism makes no sense to me. It's incomprehensible. My brain cannot compute. And I am a person, I think part of my gift is my ability to make a thought or have a thought and then get other people on the same page. Like, that's all I do in my content. I make something around something, create a story, and it's something I believe in, and people love it, they hate it, they have an opinion on it, whatever. And so with that, I did a ton of research and consumed a ton of content and just educated myself on the injustices going on in the world. And I was able to put together what I thought was a pretty concise piece of thought. I spent like 5 hours just writing in bed. And I felt strongly about it. And there's few things that I feel like I need to speak up on, but I'll do that till the day that I die. Like I'm just sick of the inequality, and I really do feel that way. And so yeah, anytime I can use my platform to speak up about it from a place that comes from within, like I try to do so.
Did you have any plans to move to Puerto Rico? Is that at all in the works? Do you have any interest?
You've caught me at an interesting time in my life. Part of my sentiment, my public statement involving me moving to Puerto Rico really does stem from the fact like I feel like I have to get out of LA. I know you just got here, but I've been here for 7 years, and I feel like I just want change. I've done a lot in this city. There's great people in this city. It is my workspace, but I almost feel like ready for that next chapter of my life, which is where that move stemmed from, or the idea of moving anyways. And then I visited Puerto Rico and fell in love with it, and kind of got like addicted to this idea of moving there. And now, like, I don't know. Like, I want to be there for training camp against Floyd. Like, I want to be there for training camp against Floyd, which will be like a month or two, and then maybe I'll be able to come up with a decision afterwards. My grandpa always said, when you don't know what to do, don't do anything.
Thank you so much, Logan, for talking to us today. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Melody.